To transition back to the U.S. Senate. Let's go to Phoenix right now. Dana Bash is standing by. Dana, I want to hear what Senator McCain is doing on this day, but I understand you just had a chance to speak with the Republican vice presidential nominee, the governor of Alaska, Sarah Palin. How did that conversation go?
Well, Wolf, she was literally just hanging out in the lobby of the Arizona Biltmore where the event happened here last night. And I asked her, I think probably what is the most obvious question right now, looking ahead, about whether or not she is thinking about 2012. Her first answer was about really focusing on the state of Alaska, on the issues that she has been working on, like energy. But then I followed up. You're notably not ruling out 2012.
Well, you know, right now I cannot even imagine running for national office in 2012. And I say that, though, of course, coming on the heels of an outcome that I certainly did not anticipate and had not hoped for. But this being a chapter now that is closed and realizing that it is a time to unite, and all Americans need to get together and help with this new administration being ushered in, policies that have got to help this nation and keep us secure. It is a time for all of us to work together. So having said that, 2012 sounds so far off that can't even imagine what I'd be doing then.
One more question about the election that just ended yesterday. If you look at some of the polls and you talk to people who are really crunching the numbers and specifically who voted what way and who sort of was swayed one way or the other, independent voters, suburban voters, some of the people, women, people who the campaign thought you would be able to help, actually looked at your presence on the ticket and said, I'm going to vote the other way. What do you make of that?
Well, you know, I don't think anybody should give Sarah Palin that much credit that I would trump an economic woeful time in this nation that occurred about 2 months ago, that my presence on the ticket would trump the economic crisis that America found itself in a couple of months ago, and attribute John McCain's loss to me. But now, having said that, if I cost John McCain even one vote, you know, I am sorry about that, because John McCain, I believe, is the American hero. I had believed that it was his time, he being so full of courage and wisdom and experience, that valor that he just embodies. I believe he would have been the best pick, but that is not the Americans' choice at this time.
Now, Dana, the whole notion of Sarah Palin, like so many other reporters in recent days, you know, all of us were bombarded with these leaks from anonymous sources about tension between the Palin camp, if you will, and the McCain camp, if you will. Did you ask her about that?
I did, and it is tension, and covering John McCain's campaign for quite a long time, it is tension that I can tell you is very real. So I did ask her about that. Listen to what she said. And now that this is over, when you think back and you hear words like diva or going rogue that we were told about, frankly, because of some tension between you and some of the people who John McCain worked for, some of the people who helped get you on a ticket. What can you tell us a little bit more now that this is over about some of the tension?
Well, it is absolutely false that there's been any tension, certainly from my part or my family's part. And in fact, my family who's surrounding me here, they know me, they know my values, what I stand for, they know my work ethic, they know that certainly there is absolutely no diva in me. In fact, we laugh about that criticism, and if only people, you know, come on up and travel with us to Alaska and see this diva lifestyle that I supposedly live or would demand, because that's just false.
She says that is false, but Wolf, I can tell you that this story is not over. There is definitely, I think, is more to come out, particularly about the $150,000 wardrobe that she got, whether or not she really did didn't know about it, and the clothes that she chose. And I think that there's a lot more, I think, that potentially could come out in the days and weeks ahead, depending on how some of the people inside the campaign are feeling about whether or not they're going to want to start talking.
I suspect there'll be a lot of talking on this story and related. Quickly, John McCain, what's he up to today?
You know, he was headed to his cabin outside of Sedona for some downtime. He was going to go with his family. I talked to his best friend, Lindsey Graham, last night, who, like other people, frankly, were at the bar here at the Biltmore, you know, trying to sort of, you know, loosen up a little bit. And he said he was potentially going to head out there, perhaps some of John McCain's other friends. And what Lindsey Graham told me is that he was going to sit down with McCain and say, look, you know, obviously this is a huge crushing blow. It is very disappointing. This was your lifelong dream, but it's not over in terms of public policy. And what Graham said that he said that they were going to discuss is how to be effective in the United States Senate. He said perhaps McCain can be the next lion of the Senate and really focus on getting some major pieces of legislation done. We'll see what happens, Wolf. Dana,
thanks very much. Dana's in Phoenix. An historic night, truly an historic night, and a great night for a lot of